Welcome back to Lively Garden. On this channel, we encourage you to grow your own food and not just grow it, but grow it organically. To show you what we have done so far, we are not done yet. We are like 20% done. But I want to show you the progress, and then also I want to be showing you what I have been planting and what's already growing. So in this particular bed, I am growing a variety of leafy greens. I have kales, I have spinach, I have pak choy, I have cabbages, I have onions, which I planted like a week ago, and they're doing pretty well. And as you can see, I have covered them with this net. I cover them to protect them, and this helps to prevent flying pests like aphids, whiteflies, and cabbage moths from landing on the plants and laying eggs. The cover also keeps out animals like chickens, which love to scratch around and nibble on tender leaves. So this simple barrier helps create a healthy, pest-free environment for my greens to thrive in. And then on this space, I don't know if you can remember, we used to have a big iron sheet raised bed, but I didn't like how it looked or functioned. So we decided to remove it. Instead, we built two smaller wooden beds, each measuring 4 feet long. Actually, I think it's 4 by 4, which make the area look neater and easier to manage. In this particular bed, I've planted leeks, bulb onions, carrots, and a few types of leafy greens. The mix of root and leaf crops make good use of the space, and the smaller beds are much easier to tend and maintain. On this side of the wall, I have a bed that I'm still undecided about. I'm considering planting rose flowers here to add some color to the space. Initially, I had put up a trellis for cucumbers, and there are still a few climbing beans growing on it. And that's the beauty of having a garden. It's okay to be unsure what to plant. You don't always have to have everything figured out. So yeah, it's okay to change your mind as the garden evolves. So gardening is a process of experimenting and learning and just finding what feels right for each space. Coming on to this bed, I have my favorite vegetable to grow in the garden, and that is tomatoes. So I have tomatoes and I have a variety. So I have the black beauty, I have the yellow pear, and the classic red variety. And then alongside them, I have planted basil, which is a great companion plant for tomatoes. Basil helps to repel common pests like aphids, whiteflies, and tomato hornworms, while also improving the flavor and growth of the tomatoes. So the two plants thrive together, and the aromatic scent of the basil adds a lovely touch to the garden. The next thing is this wall I painted black, and it really makes the surrounding plants stand out. I have a few ideas in mind on how to elevate it further, maybe adding some creative touches and features here and there to bring out the life. Yeah, I'm hoping the final result will turn out as good as it looks in my head. So just keep it here and see what I'll do with it. I'm excited to watch the transformation unfold. This next bed is planted with my favorite vegetable. Is it a vegetable? I think it is. My favorite vegetable to have for breakfast, and that is sweet potatoes. So, sweet potatoes grow well alongside companion plants like beans, which enrich the soil with nitrogen, spinach, and other leafy greens. So, if you can I'm sure you can see some spinach planted in between. It makes good use of the space while the vines spread. You can also plant it together with aromatic herbs as thyme or dill, which will help to deter pests like aphids and beetles. But avoid planting them near squash or tomatoes as they can attract similar pests. So this will typically take around 90 to 120 days to mature. So I'm excited for that. So keep it here. I also love using grow bags in my space because I have a small space, and grow bags will help you to grow more food, and then also they allow you to move your plants easily, especially if you're in a place where they need to catch more sunlight. So here I have this beautiful black beauty tomato. I'm planning to save them for seed. They look amazing. And just below them I have this radish which I planted a few days ago and they sprouted looking really good. The last grow bag has some scallions which I enjoy planting. The next bed is this strawberry bed. I had initially planted the strawberries in containers, but I noticed the fruits were getting smaller and smaller. But I decided to transplant them in this raised bed, and now they're doing so much better. You can see the fruit is bigger and it's even tastier and more juicier. So I think strawberries do like raised beds. And I've planted spinach in between, and this is just to make sure I'm utilizing the space, just to make good use of this space because I don't have a lot of it. Yes. The next thing is this arbor, which I'm using as both a functional and a decorative feature. So the idea is to have climbing plants grow over it, creating a natural canopy that provides both food and shade. So I have vines like passion fruit, so that will give me both fruit and the shade that I want. I have chayote that will give me both the fruit and the shade. I have cucumbers that might not give me the shade, but it will use the trellis part and it will give me the fruit. I also have some pumpkins that will give me the fruit, not really the shade, but I love that I have a mix of both, and over time it will become a lush green focal point in the garden, blending beauty and practicality. Then we come to my pepper corner where I have over 10 varieties of peppers growing. I have this newfound love for peppers. I don't know where it has come from, but I love it. My main concern now here is cross pollination, which can happen when different pepper varieties are grown close together and may affect the seeds for the next seasons. So if you have a strategy or some tips which I can use to prevent cross pollination, please do let me know. You can write that down in the comment section and I'll be sure to read that. So I'm also growing the bell peppers. I have the green, the yellow, the red, and the purple. I also have the scotch bonnets, the jalapeno, habaneros, the some I don't even know what they are exactly. I'll figure out once they start producing fruit. This one here is called the Black Prince. And there's the bullet eye. There's a lot going on and I love it. And on the last bed, which is looking a little bit neglected, is this bed here. Although it's not neglected, um, it's just I'm planting bit by bit. Like as you can see, this portion from here to here, it's already planted. So here I have planted herbs. You can see sage, you can see thyme, you can see the dwarf curry plant, you can see oregano, you can see another variety of sage, more oregano, the purple basil, there is lavender, and there is calendula, and there is also the garlic chives. So this section is for herbs. um at the top here I'm planning to do flowers. So this one is a dahlia. I transplanted it, that's why the leaves are have dried up, but I know it's okay, it will grow. At least you can see the middle part is looking a bit promising. And also I planted some other seeds. You can see little seeds sprouting. So I planted some marigold seeds, some zinnias, and dahlias. So I want this place to be colorful, so this part of the bed will have flowers. And then I'm still not sure what to do with this part. It could be more herbs or flowers. For now we have some little flowers. I don't know if they'll stay. It depends on how they behave. If they look beautiful, then I'll just allow them to stay there. You can see here is a basil. It looks really nice. And then we have some tomato plants. This is a sunflower plant, although I need to remove it here because sunflower does inhibit growth of the surrounding plants, so it doesn't need to be there. I mean, if I'm planting tomatoes, I should remove the sunflower, or I let the sunflower grow, and then this will just be a sunflower bed. I don't know, honestly. I don't know what I'll do with this garden. I'm still figuring that out. So yeah, that's it on the garden. There's still a lot of work to be done. That's how it looks from a distance. I still have plants in those containers, which I need to repot in some more decent containers. So that's an apple plant. I need to repot those ones. Also need to level this place. I need to put ballast. I need to put some paint on the beds so that they look a little bit shiny or something of the sort. I need to work on the wall. It's as you can see, it's looking a little bit plain, so I need to work on that. I need to put some art, some flowers, some plants, hanging plants. So yeah, there's still lots of work to be done, but I'll be taking you with me throughout the whole process so that you can see, you can ask questions, and you can learn, and you can also educate me because you also educate me. Lastly, I also help clients grow their own food, and I'm very happy to have worked with some of you, and I have worked on several garden projects. So we offer flexible options to suit different needs and budgets, organized into 3 packages. So the first package is garden consultation. This can be done online or through an on-site visit, where I provide guidance on planning, plant selection, and garden layout. The second package is the guided setup package. This is where I help source all the necessary items, including vegetables, herbs, and other materials, and deliver everything to you. You then set up the garden yourself, following the guidance provided. The last one is a full service package. This is where I take care of everything from sourcing to setup. So you end up with a fully established, ready to grow garden. You simply enjoy a thriving garden without the effort of building it yourself. If you'd like to learn more about our services, feel free to reach out. I'll drop my email in the comments. Remember, everything we do is 100% organic to make sure what you eat is completely safe and natural. If you enjoyed watching this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and comment. Bye.